Hi there, welcome to the Overtron Chatter 2. I'm here with you to recap the Ladies of London. I have been watching it, and as a matter of fact, I really didn't enjoy it. It was alright. It was just too, I guess, because I'm not British, so I don't really get a lot of a lot of what's going on. Wasn't that crazy about the fashions? It's really not my style of clothing. Some of them dressed alright with me. Some of them as we go through this. But I will say, to me, the best episode was this is season 2, the last season 2, episode 9, and this when the girl that married the royal, I can't even think of her name, but they went to her place, her estate, for a group trip, and it was spectacular. I was like, what is it? She actually wakes up. I mean, because she's an aristocrat, she has a job. And what she does, she had like the second safari outside of Africa in her space. She get up in the morning, she can go feed anteaters and giraffes and panda bears, and she got alligators and hippos. It's all these beautiful, beautiful estates. And what you do is you buy a ticket. It's called, what's it called? Lead. We'll find it. Whatever it is, I'll tell you what it is. But it's nice. You can buy tickets to it. You can tour everywhere. They don't I don't think they keep it from anything. They have elaborate tea room. They say it's one of the most palatial places in London, over there in the UK. And she does a lot of aristocrat stuff. I don't think she really don't have time to play with them. She was, the whole time the series was going on, she was training for a marathon in Kenya. So yeah, I think she went to Kenya. They didn't go with her on that trip, but she's really nice, very elegant. She's just nice. So I really liked that episode of her because it showed what she did. She says always events going on there, concerts. It's just always something going on. But what makes it, she said her life is full of logistics. What makes her life so busy is that whatever is going on in the state that time of the year, whatever event that they have, it has to coincide with the event, so it all blends in together. So anyway, her place was seamless. So anyway, let's get to this final episode. So we got Micah, and she's excited because she is the etiquette teacher, and she's giving her first etiquette class in in London, in the UK. So she's excited about it. And at first I was like, I'm gonna fast forward through this shit. I don't care about no etiquette class. But I'm glad I didn't go get my snack. I stayed in the house. I stayed and watched it. And she was just saying shit that did make sense. When you're at an event with other people, never hold anything in your right hand, which is weird because whenever I'm right-handed. So if I go somewhere, you hand me a drink, I'm going to take it with my right hand, and I'm going to keep it in my right hand. So if somebody came or was a quick move where I had to shake their hand, I would have to move this over, or I don't know, I guess you could, but you're always supposed to lead with your right hand. And you know the power move, whoever shake on top to bottom, just little simple shit. And I guess I wasn't interested in it because I don't have no hard time talking to people. I talk to what you call it, a dermatologist. I talk to some, I don't know, I talk to whoever the fuck. If you ain't gotta be in there, and I'ma talk. Yeah, I got something to say, damn it. I ain't gotta have nobody to say it to. I just gotta say it. So, I never thought that, like my ex-husband, when we first got together, like he was real, like reserved, like I don't know, like the kind of reserve you're like, wallflower, that type, you know what I mean? But over the years, he started becoming more welcoming. You'll mess some motherfuckers and they just be like even when she said this, because I'm gotta have a tendency to do that. which is when I meet you and I might have seen you somewhere before, or I might know some shit about you, my face is smiling because it's the first time we're being introduced. But my eyes is, bitch, I'm watching her. So she was like, the eyes and the smile gotta match. And if it doesn't, you done gave yourself away, especially if the other person is paying attention to you. So anyway, I thought this shit was interesting. But before her class started, Mark Francis, the only man in the women's group, and he is gay because he said it so, had shown up with Missy. And to me, Missy the best dressed on the whole show. Because she got a model's body. So, you know, they could wear a dress about this long. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, she started talking to him, and he said, I'm just having a real bad day. And he ain't one of the people that express his feelings. I heard that's the British thing. You just keep calm, carry on. I heard this shit came from over there. So she was like, no, tell me. But an event was starting. So right when she come out, he was on the verge, and she said, I know what to do, make this motherfucker tell me. He said, no, I just don't want to right now. And she was like, is this because Missy is acting like a bitch? She shouldn't have called you weird. And you know, she don't say it to him, but she said she shouldn't have called him weird, that being that he the only man in the group. So, you know, he started crying, and we ain't never seen this motherfucker cry 3 seasons. So a whole bunch of shit been cracked between him and other people. I ain't never seen him cry. So he crying, he leave. So when he leave, it's when Micah is introducing herself to the crowd, and then after he get up and leave, Missy, the one I said I like how she dressed, and said Margo's acting like a bitch, she got up and ran behind him. So anyway, he wound up coming back. He calms down. He feel better because Micah did a real good job of her event. Her husband, we finally get to see him. I think that's probably about the second time we saw him. Because he do business and he go all over the place traveling. I don't know what the fuck he did. He don't be home. But he was there. So she did good. And Mark Francis and everybody was good. So we see Joshua and his wife is Lottie. They had dinner. And she up in there, you know, she pregnant. She about to have her baby probably about 3-4 months. And she ordered his food and shit. She ordered that shit like a dude. And in her confessions, what she said, I might be a little bit masculine, but I know what my husband like. And when my husband go out to dinner, like she knows so well, she knows my food don't like to order his own food. So she ordered food. And then, you know, the waiter asked if they want drinks. And she said, I can't drink, I'm expecting. And the reason why he asked her is because you can't tell. That's how little her damn stomach is. She all baby. So, anyway, after she ordered food, her husband, whose name is Joshua, he's a designer. And I swear, y'all, I don't like that mustache shit where you twirl up on the end like a villain. And her husband is a designer. He's a very popular one. He got his own clients, and he got his own showroom. And he just do his shit. Me personally, myself, I like some of that stuff they wear, but it's a little bit too, some of the stuff he designed was too over the top. Like, he always wearing suits with the tie and the shirt, and then the mustache, and then he had the matching hat. He put some shit on her, all right, because he wear her clothes. She models for him. So anyway, she started talking about, he asked her how the baby was doing today, because she having a boy, and she told him, what she tell him? She said the baby was kicking the shit out of her while she was getting the facial. And he said, I feel like I'm missing out. And she ain't say it, but she feel like he is too, because she tell us. So she said she's scared. She don't want the baby shit to kick in, you know, right when the baby comes. She need to see some of that shit now. So he asked her, he said, people at work were saying, now this is own shit. He the head. And the people that work for him said, when you take a maternity leave, this motherfucker said, what's that? He was like, I was like, they said, yeah, you take like a month off. He said, a month? No, I'm just thinking I'll probably be home on the weekend. So he laughed his ass off. So she said, I need you to like, what if I have to have a C-section? Because if I have a C-section, I'm going to need you to be with me for at least a good 2 weeks every day, because I'm, you know, she started, you know, because they don't want you to pick up shit heavier than your baby. you know, the rules that they tell you. So she said, he gonna be a dad like her father, who was a workaholic, which means a workaholic means you ain't never around, and she don't really want that. So she need that shit to kick in. And I just tell y'all, if I don't forget at the end, it kick in because after this was the finale. This 10th episode, I think it was 10th episode. Because the end of her story was she had her baby, and oh my god, he is so cute. He is cute. He is, and he looked he looked just like he looked like both of them. And I don't know what she named him, but she said she thought she was gonna have to worry. She said this motherfucker up early, up late, holding that baby. That baby's spoiled rotten. So she happy. She said it kicked in. So when they was at the restaurant, I thought it was cute because he was talking to her and they kissed because he told her that he loved her and stuff. And then she said, I love the way your mustache tastes. I said, damn. She said, your mustache always tastes the same. I was like, a mustache got a taste? I don't think I want to fuck with that. So anyway, from there we go to Missy and Kimmy. Missy and Kimmy, you know, they went left because Kimmy said, Missy sat around telling them all sad ass stories about her brother getting gunned down that day. It probably had something to do with drugs, and it was none of that. He was gunned down, but not drug related. And she didn't want to hear that sorry shit because that's not what they do over there. So somebody went back, this lady named Margo, and told it. And so they had been having friction. So now it is Missy at the gravesite, the one side, I like the way she dressed, to visit her brother. He was cute too. They got his picture on his tombstone. And she's there bringing flowers, and she can barely stand it. And I can barely stand it for her. And her sister couldn't come because they was all real close, and her sister is expecting. Her sister didn't think that she could handle it because every time she go to the place, it wears her out, it takes her out. And it does the same thing to Missy too, because she said every time she goes back that it reminds her of the day of the funeral. And I was like, see, that's why I don't go back. And you fuck around, you ask me to put you on the ground. I'm talking about even my own children. When I leave here, I'm not going in no ground, and I ain't sitting on nobody porch and shit in no box, and on nobody sitting around looking from no fireplace, watching Christmas and Easter and shit, and the kids. I mean, I know I can't. I ain't where I want to be. I don't want them motherfuckers to be like, Michelle over there. They overtime. Nah, yo. No. So anyway, when I congratulate people that do it. And I'm glad I listened to my mother. She was like, listen, first of all, don't put all my damn money in no ground. And second, who the fuck want to go to the funeral? Outside the hospital, that's one of the second most depressed, first most depressed place you can fucking be. Who want to go do that and sitting up in that motherfucker crying about me? Honey, I'm all joy. So I'm like, okay, cool. And because my mother and I genetically have chronic kidney disease, my mother said, man, I tell you what you do with me. You take all my insurance money, and if I die and I owe somebody, don't pay them shit, because you ain't got to. I don't care what they tell you. And I was like, damn, but somebody calling? So anyway, she was like, just dedicate my body to this place. And it's called Genesis. I think it's in Memphis, Tennessee. But they ain't bullshitting, yo. Once you sign them papers and they in the hospital, you don't see them no more. Nope. But they tell you to travel their body where they got them at, tell you what they used it for, and they also tell you if they have something, when theirs remains, they will give them back to you in an urn, or they bury them for you. And so my mother is buried. Her ashes are buried because they're on the cemetery. I believe it's in Delaware. See, I said believe. I don't even know the fuck. I ain't going to look for her. So anyway, that shit was sad. But anyway, it was good. She invited Kimmy, the girl she got the argument with, who said her brother probably got shot because of drugs. she invited her to come be with her. The thing, and it changed their relationship, I think, too. She feel closer, like they're real good friends. And then we get to see a part of Kim because she come on that motherfucker like, I'm about to tell everybody off. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to clown your clothes and your shoes and if you say stupid shit. So she kind of come at you hard, but most of the time I've learned in my age that most times you meet a motherfucker that act like that gangster, man. Some of them that shell hard than a motherfucker. You don't usually stay around long enough to get it, but once you can get through, you good. So anyway, they find out that the brother and Kimmy are similar because Missy tell Kimmy that my brother's like you, yo, get up, let's go, let's move. He was real motivated, so that helped their relationship. So now we're at Mark Francis. And he telling everybody how he got this text from Margo. You know, the one that called his ass weird, and that she wanted to meet up. So he said, I'm going to meet her. So next thing we see is him meeting Margo, and she walked up, and she said, you want a drink? He said, yeah, I'm going to get sparkling water. So they both get water. So she said, why the man going to get the water, or the waiter? She said, she nervous. She said, you nervous? Why you nervous? And she said, I know I said some fucked up shit. She ain't say it like that, y'all. This how I talk. I just ain't got time to say all them words. Like, if you hanging around here, you good. So she told him, she was like, yo, I'm gonna take responsibility for what I said and accountability. I shouldn't have said that shit. You know what I'm saying? About you being weird or whatever. So he said, you know what you did? You took me back to when I was 16 and I knew that I it was a bad time for me, and I knew that I was homosexual, and I knew that I would never feel free to feel like to tell people that I was in love with somebody, and all that type of shit. And she was like, I thought we was making up. She said, man, he don't want to make up to me. And he said, and I feel like what he say? No, she said, oh shit, he didn't really make up. He was trying to double down because he's like, you took me back to a time I ain't never wanted to be in. And she said she was sorry. And he said, yeah. So anyway, whatever he did, he ain't trying to make her. He let her know how he felt and what she did. And he said, I'm just going to keep it real with you. I've been hurt by so many people in my life. I ain't got time for motherfuckers that's fake. She said, fake? That's what I think you are. When I say you weird, I ain't mean that other shit being gay. You ain't say the other shit being gay, but I mean you every time you see people slow and grandiose. No. Like how black women meet on them shows when they don't see each other. They just saw each other last night. Hey, girl, you the girl. Oh, girl. I'm like, why y'all motherfuckers just can't say, hey, how you doing? Oh, girl, let me see. I hate that shit. So anyway, he said, I'm not fake. He said, you just ain't get a chance to know me. You don't know me. And she said, this motherfucker is doubling down. He was trying to do some shit. So anyway, that shit ain't go well. He got him and said, listen. So she said, you know what it is? I think you're attracted to me. That motherfucker said, what? He said, we was at, I know I wrote on this page right here. When we was at Old Girl Spot. What is the name of her place? I thought I wrote it somewhere in the margin. Fuck it, I'm gonna find it. There it is. It is called Longleat. That's the name of her estate. It's called Longleat. It should be called a country. That motherfucker is huge. It's got elephant, everything. A boat ride down the fucking canoe. Everything. So anyway, she was like, because when we was at Longleat, you was touching on me and flirting on me. That motherfucker said, what? Are you serious? And she was like, yeah. You was just touching on me. He was like, you know what? If you want to sit over there, that girl, no. Check, please. He told me to leave you right here by yourself. And he said, oh my God, you are a narcissist. Is this fool crazy? Do she think I'm sexually attracted to her? And that's a woman and he gay. He don't want. She said maybe I confuse him because he's supposed to be gay, but he's sexually attracted to me. I was like, Margo, you really pushing it. I like some of the shit you with, but you kind of pushing it. So anyway, we see Lottie, Vision, and Josh because this is the day of his show. The show that she can't wait for this motherfucker to do because he been at work all day long. But she said it's important that this shit sell. Then let this motherfucker work. So she down there because she gonna wear the last outfit. That motherfucker was busting. That I would wear. And he also designed Micah's outfit for her event. And I liked it, but the color was off. It was she wore some shit like a British jacket, but it was in, what y'all call that? Brogade? I don't know how you pronounce it, but the shit that looked like a cream color Christmas fabric on the table, a pretty linen. Oh, not linen, but it was brocade. That's what you call it. And it had like the little navy collar. But the way he made it, the jacket was long tailed but flared out, and underneath over the jacket was a sleeveless sheath. But he put the big ass hole a big thing in the sheath where I would have just left it like solid. But that shit was nice. But her shoes, she had some gold shoes. Them motherfuckers was nice. So anyway, let me go back to what they do. She at his shop. It's a show. Everybody coming. All the whole gang is coming. Everybody coming to the show to see this thing. And they want to see Lottie walk. Because this will be her last time walking before she becomes a mom. So anyway, he get her dressed. She says she's nervous. He tell her husband is dressing her. He tell her don't be nervous. And that he love her. And outside wearing all these suits, this motherfucker, he look like a villain. For real, for real. And her husband named Joshua. Joshua, what is that last name? Joshua Branch. Yeah, I think it's Branch. Well, anyway. So, now everybody walking up in their best dress. Who would I like? Margo, to me, the outfit she got on, that's like a club outfit, but I liked it. If the shit would sit on my hips and my ass like hers, I would wear that. What the two older ones had on, Kimmy and Martha, you could tell it was expensive shit, but it ain't no shit I wear. And then what Lottie had on was I like what she had in the runway show, but I'm sure she was wearing with her husband. Oh, and what Missy wore was nice. She wore, his last name is Joshua Banks. She wore his shit. She said, ooh, my ass. I don't got no ass, but I got ass and knees. But they was some nice like textured pants, but at the bottom he put like the ruffles around it, but there's like the fur kind. That shit was cute. It was cute. So her outfit was cute. It was a two-piece. And so anyway, Margo come last, and then they having drinks and shit, and ain't anybody really talking to her. So anyway, she tells, because Martha and Margo are friends. So I told you, Kimmy and Margaret came in. Martha came in together. And told you I like what Missy had on. It was Joshua Banks. So anyway, with Margo coming in then with her little shit on, she said she gonna talk to Martha, but they wait before they don't do it before the show. So it's time for the show to come on, and it's like a lot of shit, but they got on like a jacket and a scarf and the fur the collar with the ruffles and the sleeves I was like, that shit look uncomfortable as fuck to me. It make it like London just stay cold all the time. Too many clothes lay on top of layer, but some of that shit, I ain't gonna lie, was fly. I would remove a scarf or two. But what his wife wore was I liked it best. So anyway, we see Martha and Margo, they go to talk. And Margo tells Martha the reason why motherfuckers is fucking with me is because of you. And she said, what? She said, oh, listen, I'm going to just be for real with you. She said, I don't know you since you've been back. from America. She said, I live in London. These my friends. You know what I mean? She said, now, that shit that you said to old boy, he said something about your shoes, about something you was wearing, but you come back and you attack his character. I don't think that shit is cool at all. So she said, well, the only reason why he started fucking with, they all started picking with me is because you said something about my jumpsuit. And you would call me on the phone and tell me everything that they would say about me, and you knew they were up. She was like, "Girl, listen, no, I don't tell you no lie." She said, "That velour fucking jumpsuit you wore, I didn't like it either." So she said, "So what you trying to tell me now is the reason why you is mad at me is because you think I got them talking about you?" She said, "Girl, every time you put your foot down somewhere, you start causing confusion, so you know the camera show everything Margo asked and did the whole season." So, she was like, these my friends, this is where I live. And this is who I am. She said, we British, that's the type of shit we do. We talk shit. Nobody say nothing nice around here about each other, but we don't go to the lengths that you go. So she pretty much said her, listen, you don't fall in line, bitch. You ain't gonna have no friends. She said, so Martha said, you know what, Margo, I love you. And she said, I love you too. So I guess from there, they're gonna figure that shit out. So it's the fashion show I told y'all about or whatever. And so Margo just felt like everybody make fun of her clothes, but it's because Martha let them do that or shit or whatever. So the husband do his speech telling everybody thank you, and that when he come back to the floor, he'll be the next time they see him again in his show, that he will be a father. And what else did he say? That he will be a father. And he kissed his wife because she out there with him. And he said he can't wait for me to be a mom. So listen, you could have been anyway, but let me tell you everybody's thing. Okay, Martha is happy that she was depressed because she loved to ride horses. She went through a hard divorce and shit, so she was homeless and shit for a while, but she's doing good. Kimmy said she just learned how to live life the best that she can live life. Just take the best moments. Life's a bitch, but you gotta ride with it. You got Margo. Margo is saying that fuck them. They talk about her clothes, but when she first came to London, she wanted to be accepted as, wanted to fit in, but now she done found herself. She found her truth, and she being different. She fine because Martha did tell her, she said, you talk different. You sound ungracious. And she said, you arrogant, a little bit bitchy. So, I guess Margo telling us that she cool with that shit. And then Missy had her baby. I told y'all she had the boy. And Mark Francis is doing fine, too. And, I told y'all that Martha told Margo that she's really trying to be a friend. So, they're going to be okay. So, like I said, Martha had to be back on her horse. Oh, Micah, she let go this year of people and circumstances that didn't sue her. Because y'all know it was that lady that was her best friend named Dara who started in season 1. And that bitch told her, she said, she had heard that the lady had been talking about her. So she went to her friend at a luncheon and said, can I talk to you for a minute? And the friend looked around and said, no, we can't talk now. And then when she was talking to her, she was gaslighting shit out of her. So I was so glad I was so glad Michael let her go. So listen, you could have been anywhere, but you was here with me. And I got to get out of here. You was here with me. I can't even see. What? 28 minutes and 50 seconds? I'm going to be late to where I got to go. I'm sorry. I love you. Got to go. Bye.